Hi Dawn, it's Dave from OptimalResume.com. It was a pleasure speaking with you today, and I did want to get you that video as soon as I could to help you inform others in the Career Center of some of what we talked about today. I first want to start just by reviewing how easy it is for a student to join this program. It's really a one-step opt-in process. Once a student has created a resume with our tool, or if they've uploaded a resume into their account, it's very easy to opt either type of resume into this program. The other idea is that if the student wants to make their contact information private, they can do that by checking this second box, and that would basically make it only possible for the employer to contact the student from their Optimal Resume account. And you can see here that now that I've opted in, the student basically would interact with employers at the level of their GPS resume. And so there's if there is some kind of interest from employers, students basically would receive messages from them here. As I mentioned to you, they also, whenever an employer communicates with a student, they're also copied to their account email address. Those communications, students can answer online interview questions here for employers. They can conduct video conferences right here from the browser with employers and see statistics on who's clicking on employers, and they can also, as I showed you, block any particular employer if they don't want to have any further dialogue with them. Again, what's unique about the video conferencing built in with this program is that it is browser based, meaning that unlike a Skype interview, everything is kind of integrated into the browser. It relies on Adobe Flash, and which is prevalent. 99.7% of computers have Flash, and so it doesn't require a lot of painful not that installing Skype is painful, but it's certainly inconvenient, and there has to be a dialogue to make sure everybody's on the same page. At the end of the day with this program, the idea is that most students are already prompted to keep their Flash settings current by other internet applications, and so it's really straightforward, so that any student from any computer can theoretically have these video conferences. And what I need to do is show you that right now I'm obviously recording myself for this movie, but if you want to, I'm going to turn that off so that we can see how this will work. So one second, please. And now that I'm no longer recording myself on the for this movie I'm making, you can see, hello everyone at Kansas State Career Center, that now I am able to see myself and do this video conference through the browser. So what's neat about this is it's all at the level of the resume, and what really you are, it's very easy for the student to opt in, and again, they would receive email notification if an employer wants to do this with them. They'd go right to their Optimal Resume account and conduct these video conferences without having to really go through too much to at all to get this going. So that's what's nice, and we think certainly for early in the screening process, this is a nice option for employers to have. Now, right now, when a student opts in, where do employers search? This is kind of the perspective of our, I'll reset the filters here, of our corporate hub at optimalresume.com/employers. We have over 220 universities in this program right now. And the idea here is that employers can use the filters above. They can pick the schools that they're interested in, and can narrow down the candidate pool using some of the built-in screening options that are here. Because I'm signed in as a test employer, I have access to some odd schools like Optimal University, which is not a real school, but to kind of show you that the employer can kind of, their filters are dynamically displayed here, and that once employers pay for access, they can see, they can interact with candidates. And there are two basic options for employers, which is to purchase resume books or candidate screening access. They never get to see contact information of people with private contact info as this user. And the idea, as I showed you, all the price points are highly reasonable. And the biggest detail about this is that before an employer has to pay anything here, and again, the price points are very reasonable, is that they get to search all resumes and assess the quality of the database first, not pay first. Look at the resumes first and then see if you want to make an investment. And then, as I mentioned, they can, in addition, narrow down the candidate pool, saving candidates and folders to minimize the investment if they do wish to pay to use this service. So there is this, if employers want to interact virtually with candidates, there is this candidate screening toolbar. The two neatest functions with this, as I showed you, option one is for employers to create screening interviews. This is where employers can basically, using this link that you can see in the background here, create their own screening questions for candidates, and they can do this very quickly, and the benefit is that the employer can be emailed when they have candidate responses to look at. So that's kind of one utility that's built in, and I think that this is, because it's so quick to create a screening interview, these can be standardized and you can be notified on demand when there's things to look at. It's a nice option to have for the employer. The other option, as I showed you, is for the employer on our hub. Again, selecting from students from over 220 schools, they can come in here and the employer can do a video conference right here from the browser. Again, you should be able to see me here in a second. And as I mentioned, the reason why this is a little bit slow is we encrypt this web-based video conferencing so it can't easily be hacked into for security reasons. But essentially the video conferencing experience is obviously going to be the same from the student side and the employer side. And in one moment here, this will load as the encrypting finishes so that I can join the video conference here from the employer perspective. Hi again, everyone at the Kansas Career Center, Kansas State. So this is kind of what we're dealing with is a kind of a web-based hub where employers can search resumes, screen candidates, and use these two built-in video screening options to kind of refine the pool. And really, we're the first company, I think, to really make this leap to kind of combine these two functionalities in a web-based format. And so that's that. And the next option, as I kind of log out here, actually let me kind of just move over to a different site, is this final option of a university branded site for Kansas State. And the benefit of this, and I think it comes down to, is to the extent that you're trying to drive employer traffic through your existing CSO portal and to make this kind of functionality available. You might think, well, we already have resume books. I would argue that the resume book piece of this is really kind of it's much less interesting than the video screening capabilities, because we think there is really this void in between kind of the resume book or and the face-to-face interview, a place for employers, if there's a convenient software application for them to basically look at resumes and have conversations in a convenient location. I think that there's definitely a percentage of employers, I'm not sure how high that is right now, but some percentage of employers is going to definitely want to use this to disqualify some candidates early on in the process. And so, again, with a university branded portal, it's only going to list students from that institution. You can put this inside your CSO portal as a referring URL, meaning you would control which employers have access to this. And as I mentioned, if you want to make this free access for select employers who have access through your portal, there are ways to do that. We basically would just need to know the numbers of employers that you'd want to basically give free access to, and the level of free access, as I went over with you, Dawn, that we have a kind of a sliding scale pricing table that's driven by those three factors. So we think that the benefit of a university branded portal is that it really kind of fits a little bit better with schools current processes for employers, and it's going to avail them of an option that's simply not there now. It's the beauty of this is that it basically takes resume books on the left and Skype on the right and puts them together into a very convenient use interface, and there's better tracking for the Career Center as well on the reporting and on our admin system, where you can see the level of employer activity, the level of video conferencing activity, etc. So that's kind of the quick overview of this program. I would love to give you guys more information on this. And if I can, please let me know. Dawn, you know how to get in touch with me, and I'd be happy to give you more, another demo or more information on it. But we are seeing lots of schools with different kind of employer portals looking at this option, and so I think that we're excited about the potential of this program. So we hope Kansas State will also join. Have a great weekend, everybody, and thanks very much. Bye-bye.